Let's talk about camera angles and how they affect your videos. I'm Eddie and I want you to be a YouTube success. I've talked about camera angles before. This time I'm going to go a little bit more details. Now we're going to make you a better photographer. One of the things that's very important for you to remember is your audience needs to be looking at you eye to eye, which means you need to have a straight on shot with the camera. You can switch it to an overhead view if you're trying to look down at the ground to show something, or switch it out so that you can show overhead like the airplane that's flying by right now. However, for the most part, you're having a conversation with somebody, which means you need to look at them eye to eye. What happens when you change the angle? This degrades what you're saying. On the other hand, if you're looking down at them, it is overpowering and takes away from the quality that you want to have when you have an audience that is listening to you. Please keep in mind that this is for selfies or if you're looking at somebody and talking to the camera directly. What do you do when you turn the camera around and are behind it pointing at something else? The primary example is if you have a close-up and you're looking at something, like for example this cotton ball. You will want to consider the possibility of looking at the entire plant at one point, but then have to zoom in so that you can actually show the important parts of the cotton. This is, for example, what happens when you pull cotton straight off of the plant. You also have plants like this that you might want to highlight. As you can see, those are the same angles that your audience is going to see every other time they're looking around. What you want to do is you want to adjust the angles to give them a different perspective and a different outlook. This will make your photography different than what all the other photographers are doing. Look at that plant again, except for this time we're going to come at it a different angle, a very low angle, so you can actually see what that plant looks like really close up. And every little thing that helps you stand out and be different is an edge. Take this into consideration. How many times have you seen somebody use a drone giving you that great overhead footage? That's not always available for people who only use a cell phone, but that doesn't mean that you can't get a good overhead shot. Let's think about this. What can you use that will give you a different perspective from overhead? One thing to consider is the possibility that you might be able to climb some stairs, a ladder, or something safe to give you a higher elevation. Another consideration is, why don't you just get yourself a broom handle or mop handle, tie your phone to that, make sure you do it safely so you don't risk losing your phone to it falling, and use that angle. Take a look at this angle from a higher view. That is that view right there from a much higher angle. Tell me what you think. It's a different perspective, right? That's what you want to give your audience. A quick succession of shots is a good way to show the importance of something or give the illusion of excitement. Also notice that not only do I change the scenes a lot, I try and keep the camera moving as much as possible. You want to do that because it keeps your audience engaged. Have you ever heard the phrase, perception is reality? Well, your audience perceives as a better video is going to actually be a better video. So you want to change their perspective and give them something outside of their normal perspectives for them to enjoy. Everything I've recorded thus far has been shot only on my cell phone. You are very capable of achieving the same types of photography skills that a lot of photographers use expensive equipment to achieve. This is one of the reasons I've tried to explain to you, one of the most important resources that you have is your imagination. You don't necessarily need to have a whole bunch of fancy equipment to achieve success on YouTube. What you need to have is your cell phone, your imagination. Use these simple techniques to change the way you see things and the way your audience is seeing things. I hope this helps. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications so I can continue to help you be a YouTube success.